Hello and welcome to the finale of the Room 4 Old Sins. We have unlocked every last secret this dollhouse has to unlock in this level of the world, and you'll see what I mean by that in just a second. We've cleared out every room, from the Japanese gallery to the garden, to the curiosity room, to the maritime room, to the kitchen. Every single room in this dollhouse has been cleared out to completion, except for the heart that lies beyond this portal. So, if you're ready to conclude the game for your final set of puzzles, put on your eyepiece and zoom in through the portal to enter the heart of the dollhouse. Fair warning, this is not the last time we're going to be going yet another layer deeper into this madness. Yep, it's the same dollhouse as before, only with a much more imposing atmosphere, if I do say so myself. Anyway, you'll see there's a letter here for us to read. Abigail, if you are hidden, reveal yourself. Perhaps together there is still hope. Never again will I threaten you. I feel better now. I can see clearer. The house is not itself. I'm leaving a trail of notes, but they amount to little help. Occasionally I stumble upon a note I swear I have yet to write. If you see me, tell me to stop and rest. You were always the one who made me rest. Signed, Edward. Alright, time for the final puzzle gauntlet of the game. To begin with, zoom into this back room, put on your eyepiece, and then rotate this piece around so that this statue embodying Edward will face through the portal and step through to the other side. Then, whirl the camera around, zoom in down to the study right here, and rotate him to the left so we can walk towards Abigail. Told you we'd be going another layer deeper. Put on your eyepiece and zoom in once again to descend another level deeper into the dollhouse. And as you can see, things just keep getting worse and worse the deeper you go. Anyway, another letter for us to read. Abigail, doors open to brick walls, stairs lead nowhere, the house shifts and coils. I've searched this labyrinth for days. Always I am led back here, as though there is still something I am to learn from these walls. You were right. You were always right. If you find a way out, do not hesitate to take it. Do not wait for me. Do not look back. I am forever yours, Edward. Alright, just like last time, we want to start by zooming into this room back here. Put on your eyepiece, touch this button to change the location of the portal, rotate him around, and send him through. Then zoom out, roll the camera around over here, press this button, rotate this around, then zoom out, zoom in right here, push this button, rotate Edward around to send him through the portal, then zoom out and back in over here to rotate him to the left and have him move towards Abigail. Once again, let's put on our eyepiece and descend yet another layer deeper into the dollhouse, where things somehow look even worse than they did in the last one, because this house just keeps getting more and more deteriorated the further we go. Anyway, before we do anything else, let's read the letter. The books. They are filled with our thoughts, the entire library, month upon month of our lives. I have witnessed my own madness firsthand. The ramblings run for pages. I see now how terrible it must have been. I have read a book about me reading the book I am reading. A strange sensation. I know that you are no longer here. I have read your escape. Thank God you are safe. My remaining hope is that one day you will return to find and read my apologies. I will keep writing to you for as long as I am trapped in this hell. I am sorry, Abigail. I am sorry. Alright. As you can see, this is gonna keep getting more and more complex, but I promise you I will show you the way to get out of this. First things first, you want to make sure this left button is selected so you can rotate him around and send him through the portal. Zoom out, zoom in, press the left button, send him back through the portal. Zoom out, rotate to the front of the house, zoom in. Once again, make sure the left button is selected, rotate him around to send him through the portal. And zoom out one final time, zoom in down here, make sure the right button is selected, and rotate him around to send him through the portal towards Abigail. And now it's time to put on our eyepiece one final time and descend into the final layer of this madness. Well, we found Edward, alright. Let's zoom in down here, pick up the half of a family crest, and read his final note. I can search no longer. There is no point. I am a rat in a cage, but only now do I finally see the bars. You saw it, Abigail. You saw through it from the start. Felt it worm its way through the house, our marriage, our lives. The dollhouse. You fed it the dollhouse. Quite brilliant. It is you the circle should have engaged, not I. Fly free, beautiful Abigail. I am sorry, my dear. I am sorrow. Yours, Edward. Now then, that the story part has been largely concluded, all we have left to do is finish the game. And you may have noticed that I have deliberately avoided from opening up the strange artifact up until this point. Although, now that we've received this, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to guess what's going to be inside the strange artifact. So let's open it up and see what it is. To absolutely no one's surprise, it's the other half of the family crest. Now the only question that remains is, where does this go? Well, if we zoom into where the portal was a moment ago, you can see an empty slot for 2 halves of a family crest to be placed. We can now take the thing we've been chasing since the very beginning of the game, the Null Element. To finish the game, place the Null in your briefcase, and head on home. As if this game couldn't get any creepier. Game complete. Congratulations, you have completed the Room 4 Old Sins. You navigated the labyrinthian halls of Waldegrave Manor and overcame the trials within, escaping with the Null sample intact. My employers have the soul they desired. Mr. Lockwood's frustrated ambition made him perfect prey, but Mrs. Lockwood is another matter. It seems it was the fate of all involved to underestimate her resolve. Even my employers cannot trace her. One who can evade the circle is one who must be found. Collector Report, 21st November 1908. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing the Room 4 Old Sins for everyone here at Fireproof Games. We've worked hard to give our players a fresh glimpse into the Room universe, and we sincerely hope you enjoy this 4th game in the series, meticulously updated for PC. As an independent developer, we rely on player feedback and recommendations, so if you like our games, then please consider leaving a review. We sincerely value your support and any feedback you can give us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Room 4 Old Sins complete 100%, and what a glorious game it is. Honestly, I didn't give this game enough of a chance when I first played it on the iPad back when it came out in 2018. I mean, I never said it was bad, but I just didn't fully appreciate it as much as I do now when it first came out. But what I said back then, and what I still stand by now, is that this game was absolutely the perfect step in the right direction, following the atrocity that was The Room 3. Because the Room 3 had a lot of solid gameplay for most of the runtime. The core puzzle solving for most of the rooms is pretty good, but that final room and everything about the going around the entirety of Greyholm to find all the meticulous little details that you could only stumble across if you had an eidetic memory of the entire freaking mansion, which of course most players don't. This game was the step in the right direction, because the point of that game was, you know, it was like, hey, you have full access to the whole mansion, roam around at your free will to find all the little nooks and crannies, and basically discover the endings yourself. It encourages you to interact with every aspect of the mansion to find all the hidden endings without the game holding your hand. The problem is that when you create a mansion that is so gargantuan, and then you remove the hint function for this ending feature, to the point where you have to just continually go back and forth. Because the thing is, the concept of having pieces work in different rooms, so like, a concept of having the puzzles, having one puzzle piece from one room have to work in another room, you have to go back and forth to make it work, and they're all interconnected. That's a great idea, but you can't have it such that the player has to continually go back and forth, because that was the main problem with the Room 3, was having to go back and forth, constantly searching for puzzle pieces, putting them everywhere they had to go, because the time it took to transition between the rooms was insane, and the mansion was too big for its own good. But that core concept works well, which is why this game is what the franchise needed to do to put itself back on track, because it took that concept and simply shrunk the scale a little bit to just limit it to the dollhouse itself. So if you're searching in one room and you can't find anything left to do, you can just go to another room, and it takes seconds to do because of how fast you leave in and out of the dollhouse and all the different rooms. And then, so it's much easier to just go quickly search all the rooms to find that one puzzle piece that you missed, instead of meticulously going between rooms constantly for 3 hours straight trying to find that one thing that you missed. And of course, the gameplay is as solid as ever in terms of core puzzle solving. The story is a lot more compelling than I ever gave it credit for back when it first came out. And it can't go unmentioned that they did a masterful job remastering this for PC. I mean, the other Room games also were also phenomenal remasters for the PC, but this one might be the most visually stunning yet. It's like a whole new game. Like, the core gameplay was still the same, but seeing it with all those remastered visuals and the enhanced lighting was just glorious. So, hopefully you found this walkthrough helpful, because I certainly had a blast playing through the game again, and now you have a full guide to help you make your way through all the puzzles in case you ever get stuck. But that is the last Room game that they have released. I said when I finished the Room 3 that if they ever ported the Room 4 to PC, then I would cover it and make a walkthrough for it, and now they have, and I did, so now that's all 3 original Room games, the Room 4 Old Sins, and the VR game covered on my channel. If they ever make a new game, which I'm sure they inevitably will, if they do, then I'll be sure to cover it here on the channel, just like I have with all the other ones. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all for whatever walkthrough is next. Goodbye!